Peristeri team that's made the short flight north from Greece on a 2-game losing streak of their own. Two sets of players going through their final warm-ups here. Our focus of the 4 groups is on Group C this evening. And the other 3 games in this group all take place tomorrow night. Nizhny welcome Nymburk, Riga host Broza Bamberg, and Tenerife entertain Gaziantep. Still another 10 games to play, of course, for each team in the regular season. Plenty of time for Mornar to claw their way back in towards the top 4 and towards the next stage, the playoffs. It's not been an ideal start, though. It has been a fantastic start from Tenerife. They're 4-0, unbeaten at the top. Nymburk and Nizhny both just 1 win behind at 3-1. At the moment, Peristeri in 4th are in the last qualifying spot for the next stage, but only ahead of Broza on points differential. Gaziantep and Riga both 1 win off the top 4. Mornar at the bottom, already 2 wins off. So they do need to start winning sooner rather than later. Too many fans so far, but the fans that are here filtering in and will get right behind their team, I'm sure. We'll have a look at the Peristeri roster first, and 2 35-year-old point guards make a big difference. Vasilios Xanthopoulos, team highs of 3.8 assists and 1.8 steals per game. And Will Hatcher averaging 12.8 points per game. Stephen Gray, shooting guard, a team-high 14 points per game on average. Kingsley Moses at centre averages 8.3 rebounds and 2 blocks, as well as 8.3 points. As for the home team, Mornar, the deadly backcourt duo of Jacob Pullen and Derek Needham are key. Pullen, a team-high average of 17.5 points per game. Needham, a team second-best 12.5. And team highs of 5.8 assists and 5.3 rebounds as well. Milko Bielica, at power forward, is key, averaging 11.8 points and 4.5 boards. And at centre, Damir Marcotta averages an efficient 7 points and 3.3 rebounds in 21 minutes. He's shooting 63% inside, 39% from the outside as well. About ready for the official introduction of the 2 teams, and we'll start, of course, with the visiting team from Greece, Peristeri.
Welcome to the Basketball Champions League Game Day 5, match between Mornar Bar and Peristeri winmasters, and especially
Peristeri 2-2 so far in the Basketball Champions League. They started with a 6-point win at Gaziantep in their first game in continental competition for more than 15 years. And then downed Riga by 8 points in their first home game in the tournament. They have, however, since lost their last 2 by just 4 points at 2017 champions Tenerife, and then last week by just 3 points at home to Nizhny. Those 2 defeats in a row have been by very slender margins. Just 7 points combined. Last week at home to Nizhny, they lost 71-74. They'll be desperate to get back on the winning track and to keep their place in the top 4 of Group C with a road victory here in Montenegro tonight. Ilias Zouros is the head coach for the Greeks. Big appointment by Peristeri in the summer, and with so much experience with top-level clubs. We'll have the introduction of the home team, Mornar Bar. After beating Benfica in the qualifying round, they're now bottom of this regular season group at 0-4, but that hardly tells the whole story. 3 of those games they've lost by 7 points or less, and 3 of the first 4 came on the road for them. And it started with a 6-point loss in Riga before just a 7-point defeat to group leaders Tenerife in their only game here so far. Their one big defeat came by 20 at Nizhny on game day 3, and then last week they lost by just 5 at Broza Bamberg, 81-76. They're led by Mihailo Pavicevic, who spent a decade at Mornar as a player, when he began his third spell as head coach back in 2017. Hands with coach Zouros, who won a Greek Cup with Olympiacos back in 2002, was Euro Cup Coach of the Year in 2010, and won the Lithuanian League and Cup double with Žalgiris in 2011. Also took charge of the Greek national team for that year's Eurobasket as well. Two very experienced men on the two respective benches here tonight. Peristeri arrived shooting a much better percentage on the interior at 51%, while Mornar have the second worst accuracy from two-point range in the competition. Although the hosts are shooting slightly better from range at 35%, so they might need to get hot from the three-point line tonight. The rebounding numbers are dead even, both on the defensive and offensive glass. Mornar have only averaged 10 turnovers for their opponents' 14 so far, and they will need to protect the ball extra well, you feel, tonight against a side that ranks second in the competition for steals at 10 a game. Peristeri are better off in just about every remaining category. Both teams might average 9 offensive rebounds, but the Greeks are turning them into 14.8 second chance points a game compared to just 8.5 for Mornar. And their bench outscores the Montenegrins by around 19 points a game. So the extra depth of the visitors is a big challenge for Peristeri, or for Mornar rather, to overcome if they want their first win of the season here against Peristeri. Mornar are, despite their early results, very much enjoying competing in major European competition for the 4th straight season. Back in the Basketball Champions League for the first time since finishing bottom of their regular season group in their debut continental campaign 3 seasons ago. As we see the starting 5 here for Peristeri, the visitors. I mentioned several of those players. Peristeri arguably, under coach Ilias Zouros, enjoying this even more. 2-2 so far in their first season back in continental competition since their first withdrawal from the Greek top flight for financial reasons way back in 2004. Prior to that, they had been regulars competing in the Europe League, the Euro League and the Korach Cup. This is the Mornar starting 5 they go up against. We talked a lot about Poland and Needham, Shehovic, Bielica and Lukovic. The 7-foot, 2 meters 13 centre gets the start from coach Pavicevic as well. Mornar reached the quarter-finals of the Euro Cup in 2018. Last season they bowed out of the Euro Cup at the first stage in the Basketball Champions League. Face an uphill task in trying to qualify for the playoffs, but they still have plenty of time. 10 games remaining of the 14-game regular season. Peristeri had to withdraw again from the Greek top flight as recently as 2013 for financial problems. They bounced back by winning the second division title 2 seasons ago, and then last season, in their first campaign back in the top tier, they reached the Greek League semi-finals for just the 3rd ever time, and for the first time since 2003. And they're enjoying this first season in pan-European competition here in the Basketball Champions League since they first went down in 2004 from the top flight. It's been a roller coaster ride for their fans. The ride here to Montenegro hasn't been that long, just a short flight north across Macedonia and Albania. We're about ready to go in this one. It is the first game in Group C on game day 5 of the Basketball Champions League regular season. The 2018 Montenegrin League champions Mornar, desperate for their first win of this campaign to claw their way back into the fight for playoff contention. And Peristeri, reached league semi-finalists last season, back in continental competition for the first time in 15 years. And looking to get back to winning ways after back-to-back defeats. Underway. And Mornar start with the ball. Needham has been so key for them in every category. And he was the catalyst of that offense, an early score. Averaging Needham 5.8 assists a game so far. Gray hands it off on the perimeter. Smith to the far side, three-point shot will rattle and go down. What a way to answer back for Stephen Gray. And despite being the top scorer for Peristeri this season, had only been shooting 28% from the three-point range. Mornar, we talked about their need to be able to protect the ball well tonight, only averaging 10 turnovers a game this season, but they turned it over inside the opening minute here. There's the first foul of this game as well. Non-shooting foul, so Smith will inbound for Peristeri. Moreira across to the far side. There's Gray again. And it goes to BJ Blake. Blake looking to go to work, edge of the paint, kicks it across to the near side. Split to the side shot, but there was a turnover from Peristeri. Xanthopoulos. Or Vasilopoulos it was rather, the number 21. Couldn't quite catch whether that was a heel on the sideline or a travel. Either way, the result is the same. Mornar back with the ball, Jacob Pullen. Looking to use Lukovic's high screen, then he drives to the baseline. Can't get it to go. Lukovic is back in there, grabbing a couple of offensive rebounds. And they've still got 8 seconds to work with here. Needham darts through a gap, into the lane, swatted away, playing a bit of volleyball to get it clear. And Peristeri with a chance for the open three, can't take it after the big rejection from Yannick Moreira. Deep three-point shot, Pullen. Offensive rebound again, 3 in the space of a minute. This one was from Sead Shehovic. Needham, he's going to take on the three, knocks it down, Derek Needham. Mornar profiting from those offensive rebounds. Smith. Has it into Moreira. Bounce pass, too easy, right down the lane. Scoochie Smith, nobody near him. He's averaging 10.5 points a game this season, a joint team second best, 3 assists a game as well. Bielitsa backing in, almost had his pocket picked, able to recover and then turned it over anyway. Peristeri in transition with BJ Blake to the far side. Blake wants it back in the high post, he's moving towards the paint now. That's a spin, Moreira, bounce pass down the baseline. Blake, can he adjust? He can with the contact to score. Really lovely play that time from BJ Blake, providing the option. It was a lovely pass from Yannick Moreira, the big centre. He's looking to add a new dimension to this Peristeri team, playing just his second game of the season, Yannick Moreira. 3.6 rebounds, 2 assists and a block on his first appearance. He showed his passing ability that centre position already. BJ Blake completing the three-point play. Peristeri up by 3. It's another deep 3, and it goes nothing but net for Jacob Pullen from way beyond the setting sun. Screen Mornar, around it goes Smith. Mornar again, looking to go to work, turns around, puts the ball on the floor, but he's called for a travel. It was a nice move, skipping through the paint that followed that, but he's already taken the extra step. Yannick Mornar. Needham. Bielitsa wanting the ball, runs past Lukovic, who passes off the other way instead. Shehovic going to work, across to the far side, three-point shot, Bielitsa. That one won't go. They've hit a couple of threes already, Mornar. BJ Blake, really busy early on. Nice play to draw the attention of the defense, move it to this near side. It was a wide open look for Stephen Gray, but he couldn't convert. Derek Needham not allowing Peristeri to rest one bit, forces the foul. Looks like it's on Scoochie Smith. Just there. First foul of any type for anyone on Peristeri. Mornar have 2. Approaching the midway point of the opening quarter. Nice pass to the far side by Pullen. They started well from deep. They're now 2 of 6 though, Mornar. Oh, nice bounce pass. The layup wouldn't go, but a foul. As Lukovic wags his finger, suggesting he felt that was the wrong call. There will be 2 foul shots though for BJ Blake. Blake, who's got 3 points already, completing that earlier three-point play, misses that foul shot. Let's get the second. Needham directing traffic from up high. He finds his way into the paint. Pass was slightly off the mark for Pullen, able to reel it in. Still time on the shot clock as he bursts into the lane, floats it up, trying to grab the rebound. Bielitsa can't get there. Here's Mornar. Oh, had it taken off him. And the freedom of this arena to finish for Derek Needham. Lightning fast hands and then lightning fast to the basket. 5 points for Needham. Mornar by 1. High entry pass, sealing his man and providing the scintillating finish was Mornar. He's certainly playing a big part here for Peristeri. And they're ahead now, these 2 trading leads. Here comes BJ Blake. We're just losing the handle on the ball there was Stephen Gray. Quarterback pass down the floor and throwing it down. Uroš Lukovic. A monster jam in Montenegro. And a 7-footer. Finishing emphatically. That one will go down just about on the roll around. And this series of lead changes continues with 3.5 to play in the first quarter. Both teams shooting the ball well on the interior. Needham to Bielitsa. And a foul on the floor before he got the shot away. Mornar Had a big dunk, didn't he? And that was answered back by an even bigger one by Lukovic. To contemplate for both head coaches early on. These two have been involved in so many tight games through the course of this season already. Even though the campaign is still in its infancy, really. Tight games each and every week. And all of the early indications are that this one will be tight as well. Bielitsa at the line, averages a team third best 11.8 points, as well as 4.5 rebounds and 2 assists. He's one of many highly experienced players on the Mornar roster. Both foul shots here, the 35-year-old, and will go to the bench. Here comes Damir Marcotta, another very experienced player in the front line at 33. Former Croatian international. Moreira again. Misses that time. Rebound just about secured. Inside for Mornar. Final 3 minutes of the opening quarter. 14-13. Needham looking maybe to use the high screen here. Pollum crossing over, looking to attack. Quicken the pace. Getting through with Shehovic. And there's a third foul on Peristeri, 3 on both teams now. The foul was called on the shot. So Sead Shehovic, the 30-year-old small forward, goes to the line. Making his third appearance of the campaign. He was eased in on game day 2 before 7 points and assist in 17 minutes last week, although he only shot 2 of 8 from the field. The foul shot sees Mornar up by 3. Nice bounce pass, lovely cut down the baseline as well. The throwdown from BJ Blake after the penetration and pass from Skordilis. Peristeri back within a whisker. And the foul has been called there, which will be the 4th. So any fouls now for the remainder of the quarter on the Peristeri defense will send Mornar to the foul line, shooting foul or not. Thought about the 3 off the inbound pass, Marcotta. Begic in the game, spinning baseline and finishing with the pretty reverse. Here's a Begic, another one of those very experienced front court players. Mornar have them in abundance. 3 off the mark, rebound Begic. There he is on the offensive end now, Begic. Now Waller across to the corner. It's a wide open look for 3 and he makes it count. Mornar double their advantage through Damir Marcotta. The big centre with the big outside shot. Timeout call by Peristeri. It's the largest lead of the game so far at 6.
First of all, we have to be more aggressive. More aggressive. We started, we gave them very easy layups and very easy baskets. Second, offensively, more than 3 passes. More than 3 passes. They have a big problem. We go with 1 pass, more than 3 passes. And they're too comfortable. First offense. first offense, we go one down. Okay. Touch. It's here, 5. It's here, 4. 3. Okay. Pass. Good screen in. Second offense. One side. Touch here. She comes. We don't pass the touch. She goes. 5. Good screen and action. Mama.
Hey, they're too comfortable. Come on, man.
Mama. Peristeri.
You might have heard the Peristeri coach, Elias Zouros, there calling for greater tenacity and aggression on defense. Mornar have turned it up on offense. They're hitting shots, but they're hitting open shots, many of them. What is most impressive about the home side's 21 points already is that they have had 7 different players score them, led by the 5 of Derek Needham. We talked about the strength of the Peristeri bench, averaging 19 points more a game than the Mornar bench. Well, it's the other way around so far here in the first quarter. The Mornar bench doing the business. Lead by 6. Needham commits their 4th foul of this quarter. BJ was trying to get him backdoor, but the pass never came. Catcher to the far side, outside shot wouldn't go. Here's Waller, quickly releasing it down the floor. Pullen. Final minute of the opening quarter, knocked away from Jacob Pullen. Quick pass down the floor, but given away straight away by Peristeri. It has got progressively worse for them over the course of this quarter after a fairly promising start. It's 5 turnovers, in fact, for both teams in this opening quarter. That's a big amount. And there's another one for Mornar. An offensive foul against Begic. So 6 turnovers in the quarter, but they have a 6-point lead. Now they were on 4 fouls, so that takes them to the foul limit, but the offensive foul will not send the opposition to the foul line, only fouls from the defense. And Needham here has gone to the bench. I'm just wondering if he's just picked up his 2nd. Taking the ring road around the defense to the far side, gets a good look from the corner, wouldn't go down again. Offensive rebound and a really good save on the baseline. Driving all the way through to the baseline and scoring impressively was Vasilas Xanthopoulos. Peristeri closed the gap to 4. Final seconds here, nominal differential between shot clock and game clock at the end of the opening quarter. And Mornar get one more score before the first is through. Pullen to the corner, 3-point shot. Waller, no. Off the hop, maybe. And out of bounds. With less than a second to play. Well, it may have gone out anyway, but the Peristeri player caught it and landed on the baseline. So Mornar will get a 0.9 second chance. Pulling the trigger one more time. Let's see what they've got in their locker for this situation. Herrera coming back in for Peristeri, providing some extra length on defense around the rim. And the length in terms of trying to stop the inbounder getting the ball in the first place. Change the clock to 1.2, a little extra time. Can he pick out an option first? He gets it in. The shot was away, but that will end the quarter. The whistle had gone. It has been a positive quarter, particularly on offense for Mornar. 21-17, they lead Peristeri in pursuit of their first win of this season. But like a turnover, foot on the line as he catches the ball from the inbound pass there, that right foot. And that is why that was the end of the quarter there. Maybe they could have added a bit of time on. Maybe they are looking at that and saying, in fact, we're not done yet for the first. Let's see. That seems to be the situation. There will be maybe a little bit of time left on the clock. There you go, 1.1 seconds, so it's got to be even hope for Peristeri. Quarterback pass all the way towards the end zone, nobody touched it. So Mornar have the same opportunity pretty much now. They can advance the ball back to the same position. It's got to be a quick release, though. They don't get it away. The defense good enough to block out Damir Marcotta, and that will do it for the quarter. At the end of one, Mornar Bar 21, Peristeri 17. Take a look at some of the stats. Really good shooting on the interior for both teams at 67%. Mornar ahead because of their three-point shooting, 3 of 7 so far, and they're 4 of 4 from the line as well. They'll be very happy with the work that they've done in the opening 10 minutes, but they'll know there's a lot more work to do if they are to get that first win of the season and stop their 4-game losing streak. That was a lovely pass into Lukovic right off the get-go. The opening score in a matter of seconds for them. Needham leads them with 5 points. He's hit both of his shots so far. Peristeri were well in touch for the vast majority of that quarter. They were trading leads and trading blows, these two. Mornar was impressive, as too was BJ Blake, but a few threes knocked down. That one by Jacob Pullen. For Mornar, Needham getting to the basket to add to his triple. And a couple of dunks. Mornar getting inside off the entry pass to throw it down. The response was an emphatic one, an even bigger dunk. A one-hander from Uroš Lukovic. And the baseline cut jam from BJ Blake. 3 really nice plays. And that was a very pretty finish from Mirza Begic. Everybody getting involved for Mornar, who had 7 scorers in the quarter, nobody on more than 5 for their 21 points. Here we go then, start of the second. Mornar 21, Peristeri 17. And it's the Greeks who have the ball at the start of this second period with Vasilis Xanthopoulos. He's just going to take the open 3. They backed off him and he made them pay. Peristeri, in the blink of an eye, get back to within a couple. They put it down as a 2-pointer. They must have had toes on the line. Triple team almost forming on Begic, who passed it back for the deep 3 off the mark from Marcotta. Offensive rebounds for Mornar. They've had 4 or 5 of those already. They only average 9 a game. Another 3-point shot. They'll keep putting them up there. They'll keep missing them for now, though. And the runner towards the baseline from Xanthopoulos wouldn't go down. And then he commits the foul, trying to get back on defense. First foul of this second quarter. Vasilis Xanthopoulos, the 35-year-old point guard, averages a team high in assists for Peristeri at 3.8, also a team high in steals at almost 2 a game, so you can forgive him for feeling he could pick the pocket of his opponent. Here's a Begic. There's a second foul on Peristeri. It's on Gaios Gordilis. We saw Gordilis, it may be Agravanis, in fact. There you go. Confirmation of that. The foul on Yanis Agravanis. Lovely no-look pass, kick to the corner, and the foul on the three-point shot. Well, Mirza Begic is pulling the strings right now with his passing and his presence on court, the big man. Look at this for a pass from Begic. They were so concerned about leaving Tabia Waller free on the perimeter that they commit the foul. It's a double damaging blow for Peristeri. They give up 3 foul shots to Waller. And they also commit their 3rd team foul of the second quarter after only 73 seconds. Waller is responding to a difficult game. In last week's defeat in Bamberg when he was 0 of 4 from the field in just 12 minutes on court. 3 of 3 from the foul line there. He'll be feeling a bit better now. So Mornar up by 5. Peristeri in foul trouble already here in the second. Stephen Gray comes in for them. Personal foul trouble for Agravanis and for Xanthopoulos, who have both got 2. Scoochie Smith, little stutter dribble, found his man on the perimeter, drives down the baseline, floats it up, beautiful. And floater falls for Will Hatcher. There's a crossover and drive. For the first time attacking the basket, Rayleigh Ross off the bench, can't score. And now a chance to tie it up if they can hit the outside shot here with Smith. He moves it onto the corner, 3-pointer for the tie, no. Although Mornar will give them another opportunity. Hatcher driving down the side of the paint, going off the window. He's looking around at the official for a bit of help. Wanted a foul, doesn't get it. Mornar aren't waiting around. The stop and pop 3 will drop for Tabia Waller. 6 points in the space of about a minute for him. And Mornar are up by 6 again. It ties the largest lead of this game. A static 3 goes down for Kingsley Moses, the giant centre, who just pulled the trigger without thinking. He's been shooting 64% on the interior this season, but he takes on the 3 that time and knocks it down. It halves the gap. Branyesh in traffic, way off. And here they come with Smith to the edge of the paint. Now what's the call? The foul on the offense. A second on Smith as well. So 3 Peristeri players on 2 now towards the start of this second quarter. Defense getting their feet set, taking the charge. A really good job from Tabia Waller, who's been doing it on offense and defense now. That time he put his body on the line, and again it's the double blow because Peristeri get another player picking up a second personal, and they pick up their 4th team foul of the second quarter in just over 3 minutes. Mornar yet to commit a foul. Getting in for the big dunk is Damir Marcotta. Far too easy for him to get basket side and rock the rim. And the Peristeri coach called for pressure on defense. We've not really seen it yet. Just inside the arc, wouldn't go down for Moreira. A chance to open up the largest lead of the game here for Mornar. Marcotta moving it on to Begic, who spins to the baseline and puts Moreira on toast. Begic with the beautiful move, and Mornar with the big lead, the largest of the night at 7, 31-24. Timeout called by Peristeri.
We wake up to finish the game. We're losing all this because of our mistakes. Παναγιώτη, μην δίνεις στο κέντρο.
Είπαμε κάνει μπαμ και ξεπερνάς. Hey, stay together, stay together. Stay together, come on. Stay together, boo.
Offense. Offense.
Pay attention.
One time Oklahoma team. Oklahoma team. Okay, 4. You go, screen, hand off. Steven is here. 1. Second offense. Oklahoma small. 4 is here. 2, 5. We go from 5. 2 go and screen. 4 and receive screen from
Hey, we gotta play some D, man.
Guys, let's go!
Come on, man. Let's go, let's go. Let's go down here.
You hear the calls there from the Peristeri bench. We've got to play some defence. Really has been missing for them so far. Mornar have shot 60% on the inside and 40% from downtown, en route to 31 points so far. As we saw in that timeout, the home team have a couple of extra offensive rebounds and a couple of extra defensive rebounds as well. So many players getting in on the act for them. 8 different scorers in the ball game. Smith will get the handoff from Vasilopoulos. Bounce pass was behind Moreira. They turn it over again. It's just not clicking for Peristeri here in this second quarter. Hasn't been since the final few minutes of the first quarter. Begic. Waiting for movement around him. Marcotta driving, trying to move it back. Passing lane was cut off by Scoochie Smith, who then got fouled. Mornar's first foul of the second quarter. On Nemanja Vranjes, by the looks of it. They will not have been happy with the turnover. Peristeri right off the back of the timeout. And they get away with it. They get another chance here to cut the deficit. Putting the ball on the floor. Stephen Gray moving it on to Moreira. This near side of the paint, skipping into the lane, trying to get the defense up in the air, twisting and turning around the sizable frame of Begic. He did well, but he couldn't get it to drop. Begic did very well to stay with his feet planted and not commit the foul. And there he is on the offensive end, trying to throw it down one-handed. Ball knocked out beyond the baseline. Still Mornar possession, right on the midway point of the second quarter. Bielica comes in. Montenegrin has played all over around Europe through his long and successful career. Uroš Lukovic back in as well. So much experience in the front line. There's so much height in the Mornar front line as well. Three-point shot for them will go. Tickling the twine from Vranjes. 5 of 11 from the outside now. And what an effort from Vranjes on defense as well to block the passing lane. Here comes Waller. Oh, back out towards Vranjes, but he was tracked all the way by Gray. Stephen Gray looking to the corner, knocked away. It was his poor pass that put the ball out into touch. And Peristeri have had their chances. They've not taken them. Mornar are taking theirs. It's a double-digit lead. Needham dishing it off, and Lukovic throws it down. 6 points for him, 3 of 3 from the field. Final 4 minutes of the first half. Bounce pass for Moreira. Across to the corner, wide open. Way off the mark. And Peristeri have been knocked way off their game. Needham floating one high, and a foul off the mid-air collision. As BJ Blake came across, tried to do everything he could to stop Uroš Lukovic, and it's a long, long way down for him. The 2 meters 13, 7-foot centre. He was looking for the big finish. BJ said, no way. I'm not going to give you that kind of momentum booster. Mornar don't need too much of a momentum boost right now. They are sailing. (21-17) the lead at the start of this quarter. It's a 16-7, 7 minutes. And it remains that way, just. Peristeri in foul trouble as well as a team in this second quarter. They're in the bonus. Moreira from the stripe in open play misses. And Peristeri can't buy a basket right now. Needham. Waller. Waller going to work. He's going to shoot from way outside, misses. That perhaps makes sense when you've got the opposition in foul trouble. Try and drive at them. Wide open look for 3 for Peristeri, and they answer back, refusing to lay down. Kingsley Moses, the Nigerian centre, with his second triple. Gap cut to 10. Inside the final 3 minutes of the half. Pullen, he does drive and get contact, and he will go to the line for 2. 3 points so far for Jacob Pullen, who averages 17.5, more than anybody else in this game. He's 1 of 4 from the field, and he gets his first trip to the foul line. Agravanis picks up his 3rd foul. Pullen had 19 points on game day 4, as well as 3 rebounds, an assist and a steal. He was 7 of 14 from the field, including 3 of 7 from downtown. This is his first foul shot here. In practice, Lukovic is at the line. He must have been fouled away from the ball handler, Pullen. Lukovic hasn't had too much of a problem scoring tonight. It's 8 points for him now in the first half. 11 the lead, taking the ring road around the defense. Anthopoulos. Will they turn it over here, or can they save it? Yes, they can, just about. It almost led to the open 3. They try and take the higher percentage shot and miss it. And Pullen did so well to balance the baseline. Fantastic save at centre court. Pullen through the legs, torches his man, floats it over the top of the shot blocker Moreira. Jacob Pullen putting all the moves on the Peristeri defense. Just when I was talking about him only having 3 points in the game so far. Moses handing it off. Moreira rolling inside. High pass towards him, and he'll put it in. Lovely team basketball from Peristeri that time. They're still down by 11 though. Final minute and a half coming up here in the first half. It's another deep, deep 3. Pullen off the mark. He's 2 of 6 from the field now. Moreira again getting basket side to throw it down one-handed. Coach Mihailo Pavicevic will not be happy about that. A couple of breakdowns from his team defensively. The lead has been cut to 9. Got basket side of Uroš Lukovic for another dunk. Coach Pavicevic wants to talk it through.
Hey, don't front the post, dog, man, in the middle of the paint. There's no help. In that lobby, no help. It's in the middle.
Listen, we play like from horns up. Horns up. We make pass to Bjelica. Bullet. We make pass and you cut there. You to Luki. Zagledaj Luki. Watch now. He's going there. You set the screen for Bjelica. Prvu opciju gledaj dolje. A druga je onda uručenje sa njim. Ajde, ne daj.
6 points for Yannick Moreira now. Although he's only 3 of 8 from the field. Kingsley Moses has 6 points, as does BJ Blake. The 3 scoring leaders for Peristeri. Final 1 minute and 20 seconds of the first half. A sizable double-digit lead has been cut to 9. Mornar failing to score, failing to finish the second quarter as strong as they threatened to do. Peristeri offered encouragement to get back into the ball game. Final minute of the second. There's a foot on the baseline and another turnover for Peristeri. These two teams have turned the ball over a lot in this first half, both of them. It's the 10th turnover for Peristeri. Mornar have 9. The hosts trying to get back up by double figures. Bjelica. This is Lukovic moving it back inside. Double team trap. Bjelica trying to find a way out. Ball deflected away out of bounds. Still Mornar possession. The shot clock should change here. It looked like it touched the rim. Maybe it didn't. 2.4 to shoot. They get it in. Now he's stripped mid-air, Pullen. He didn't look like he was going to get it away in time anyway. Moreira in. He's been a one-man dunk machine here in the first half. Yannick Moreira cuts it to 7. He's half the deficit. And once more, Coach Pavicevic needs to talk it over with his team. They're in danger of undoing all of their good work in this second quarter.
Start. Like 8 seconds.
As you saw in that timeout, the shooting percentages are very similar now for both teams, inside and out. The difference in the score pretty much is the extra couple of three-pointers that Mornar have knocked down. The lead has been as many as 13 points. It's been cut to 7 here. was a foul, an offensive foul, receiving the ball on the inbound. So Mornar turned it over off the back of that timeout. A chance for Peristeri to cut the lead even further. Skip to the side, threatening the three, clinging on to it. Into the lane, floating one from the foul line. Wouldn't go down. They'll grab it, the home team, with Mark Cotter. Again, a nominal differential between shot and game clock at the end of the half now. So Mornar will look to hold it for the final shot of the period. Getting into a good position, but missing it was Jacob Pullen. There's a chance to throw it up here from centre court. And that will do it for a fascinating first half, in which Mornar have led by as many as 13, but they only lead by 7 at the half, 40-33 over Peristeri. Take a look at that, those shooting percentages, and Peristeri now the better percentage on the inside, but a couple of extra three-pointers for Mornar. They're shooting 38% from distance. They've grabbed more rebounds on the offensive and defensive glass as well, but Peristeri a couple of extra assists, 3 extra steals. Both teams are turning the ball over a lot. Peristeri came here ranked second in the competition for steals, 7 in the first half. They're led by the 8 points of Moreira. Mornar's big centre, Lukovic, has 8 to lead them. I get the feeling there's a few more twists and turns to come in this one. In the second half, there were certainly plenty of twists and turns in the first quarter. 9 lead changes in that opening 10 minutes. Several big dunks, several big blows, back and forth. What a start. The pass inside to Lukovic, the response from Peristeri. And towards the end of the first quarter, Mornar started to pull away. Their outside shooting was a key part of that. Increased their lead in the second quarter to as many as 13 points at 37-24. But what a job from Peristeri to pull them back in. Peristeri finished the first half on a 9-3 run to close that 13-point gap down to just 7. The home team led by the 8 points of Uroš Lukovic. They've had 6 from Waller, 5 from Mark Cotter, Needham and Pullen. And 8 points for Peristeri to lead them from Yannick Moreira. They've had 6 from BJ Blake and then 4 from Xanthopoulos. And they're on the comeback trail. Will the halftime break disrupt that? We'll have to wait to find out. The second half is coming up shortly. At halftime here, it's Mornar 40, Peristeri 33.
Hamburger transition with Peristeri. Lee throws the alley. Oh my lord! Connects with it. Taylor got the lob. Peristeri threw it up, and it was a throwdown.
Neptunus in the white. Neptunus start with a basketball. Come off the two screens. Great curve right down the lane, and he just flushes it for two. What a start. Goliath just went down hard and said thank you.
Solomon going to go to work against Margaritis. Oh, lovely crossover inside, and he puts down the poster, knocking Sarakopoulos to the floor. Oh, that's a power move to the basket. Just too much for Power to handle. Look at Sarakopoulos here. He ends up with his backside on the hardwood.
Beautiful handoff, and then just a hammer throw by Madsen. Well, we know he's got the jump shot, and now he shows us he's got some hops. Frankie Ferrari steps back now, gets in, puts it up. Oh, that was the playground move, baby. Looked like he was going to step back and attempt a three, then he went in and put it up, releasing it with one hand. Look at that. He wowed his own teammates.
Jacobin Brown trying to lead the fast break, goes coast to coast. Oh, what a pass behind the back. Jacobin Brown adds himself to the highlight reel. It's Solomon Bramo who makes the two.
Extra pass, great scramble. Smith, little handle off the glass for two is sweet. Just ghosts past the defense. Upstairs, oh, what a play. Brown orchestrates. Justice keeps it alive, knocks it away, chance to run for Zaragoza. Nice pass, beautiful finish. Obradovic gets the two. Super finish, super play.
Thompson on the roll, wide open, and Thompson hammers it home. Gives a look to the bench, doesn't react at all. All of in a day's work for Siobhan Thompson.
Welcome back to Bar Montenegro, where the hosts Mornar lead Peristeri by 7, 40-33. As we get ready to start the second half, the lead has been as many as 13 points, but Peristeri finishing the second quarter on a promising run to cut the gap by just about half. We'll have to see if they can continue in that vein. In the second half, Yannick Moreira, on just his second appearance of the season, has been key for them with 8 points so far. 4 of 9 on the interior. Although he has missed some shots on the outside as well. As a team, Peristeri are just 3 of 9 from three-point range. And Mornar 5 of 13. They're led by the 8 points of Uroš Lukovic. And that essentially is the difference right now, the 2 extra threes the home side have hit. They've had a big advantage on the offensive glass as well to create extra scoring opportunities. 7 offensive rebounds for them. We talked about their big front line. Lukovic, a key part of that. One of a couple of 7-footers on the roster, along with Mirza Begic. And Marcotta not too far off that mark as well. The home side have done a really good job of is spreading the scoring around. Everybody getting involved early. 7 scorers on the board in the first quarter. They've had 9 in the game, with a couple more added in the second quarter. In fact, Brandis Rayleigh-Ross is the only player who's taken to the court who's yet to score for Mornar. As for Peristeri, aside from the 8 of Moreira, they've had 6 each from BJ Blake and Kingsley Moses. Moses did a really good job of coming into the game and knocking down 2 threes. 6 points, 6 rebounds, a block and a steal in the space of 11 minutes on court for the big Nigerian centre. I thought it was going to be all about his shooting on the inside, but he pulled away to the perimeter. 2 of 2 from deep. That was a big part of the Peristeri comeback. Going through their final warm-ups before we can get this second half underway as they're called back to the benches. Home fans desperate to celebrate a first win of the season in the Basketball Champions League for their team. They put themselves in an exceptional position with a 13-point lead. They let it slip down to 7 heading into half-time. They could do with a big response here at the start of the third quarter. There's the score as we get ready to start the second half of the first game in Group C in the Basketball Champions League regular season on game day 5. With the 3 games in this group coming your way tomorrow. Mornar started today bottom of the group at 0-4. Peristeri at 2-2, won their first 2 games, lost their last 2. And they currently have that coveted 4th place spot that would see them go through to the playoffs, but there's a long way to go. Twists and turns to come in this game, and plenty of twists and turns to come over the remainder of the regular season, I'm sure. A foul only 13 seconds into the third quarter. And Peristeri, who are at the foul limit very early in the second quarter. Attacking the basket off the inbound pass, but missing. And a chance for Peristeri to close that gap just a little bit more. Will Hatcher. There's a foul on Mornar as well here in the opening moments of this third quarter on Shehovic. high pass all the way up to the rim from Vasilopoulos, and BJ Blake was going up to get it. Got hit mid-air. So Mornar with 2 fouls in the space of a few seconds. That one on the shot, so BJ goes to the line. The coaches have just had a good 10 minutes or so with their players to try and, in Peristeri's case, alter the course and continue on the comeback trail. Chance for Blake to add one more to those 7 points and to chip one more off the lead of Mornar, which he can't. It's down to 6. It's been as many as 13. Lukovic out to Pullen. Needham on the left-hand dribble drive, going through the gears, forced away from the baseline and lost it. And then an unsportsmanlike called on Derek Needham as he tried to get back, frustrated at losing the ball. A disastrous few seconds for him. And Mornar are in big danger of throwing away their sizable lead now. This will be free throws followed by possession for Peristeri. Not just that, but it's 3 team fouls on Mornar in less than a minute of this third quarter. Well, Hatcher only making 1 of the 2. They've cut the gap to 5 and they have the ball now to try and make it a 1-possession game. Hatcher still frustrated that he missed that second one, gets it in. And they turn it over off the inbound pass as Gray is forced across to stand on the sideline. Sloppy play from Peristeri. Didn't really have any room to operate at all. What a recovery, though, from Hatcher, who makes amends, looks to skip through the paint, lost it on the way, but a whistle. Backing down Needham to the basket. Hatcher attacking strong right through the paint, trying to skip past Derek Needham and forcing the foul. Just an out of bounds, I think, on Needham rather than the foul called that time. Wide open 3, Peristeri. That would have closed the gap to 2. Pullen crosses over, looks to attack the basket, got bumped, and he'll go to the line for 2. Go either way. He's got the first step, the change of pace, the burst to the basket to blaze past anybody left one-on-one. Jacob Pullen. He forces Peristeri's second foul of the third quarter, so both teams in danger of being in foul trouble early. Hatcher averaging 12.8 points a game this season. Will Hatcher moves it on, trying to thread the eye of the needle, turning it over. Vasilopoulos. 3-point shot for Mornar, won't go down. They're really struggling to score now. Got it away as he was wide open, lurking on the baseline, Moreira. Still Peristeri ball, down by 7. Needham doing his best to stop them getting the ball in, but Moreira just off the elbow, guarded by Lukovic, back out, 3-point shot, won't go down. Let's look at the three-point shooting numbers as Mornar turned the ball over again. It's really been sloppy at times, the ball handling. Now, Mornar came into this game averaging just 10 turnovers through the first 4 games of competition here in the Basketball Champions League. That was their 14th of today. We're only at the start of the third quarter. And Peristeri, it's not been much better. They've had 12. Gray taking on the 3. It falls short. Mornar just with a couple of points in this third quarter, having finished the second on a drought as well. They've only scored 5 points, the home team, since their largest lead of the game at 13, 37-24. Change that here. Knocked away beyond the baseline off the shins of BJ Blake. There's now 3 team fouls on both teams for only about 2.5 minutes of the third quarter. Pollen with the risky pass in towards Lukovic, turns it over again. Big chance in transition. Hatcher to the basket, scores and closes the gap to 5 again. Will Hatcher really starting to come to the fore. Turnover number 15 for Mornar. Needham going around the high screen of Lukovic. 3-point shot, Shehovic. And a chance to run in transition again for Peristeri. Bursting down the baseline, looking to find Hatcher on this near side, but turning it over. It's Scoochie Smith, rather. Turnover 13 for Peristeri. Needham passing inside to Lukovic. He's trapped on the baseline. Did he stand on it? Did he get fouled? He stood on the line, carried the ball out of play. So another turnover. It's been an opening 3.5 minutes of this second half littered with fouls and turnovers. Smith had foul trouble in the first half, able to play a bit more here at the start of the second. Hatcher darting through a gap, floating it up towards Moreira, who's trying to get basket side again and fouled by Rayleigh Ross. So it's foul number 4 on Mornar. Any fouls from their defense for the next 6 minutes and 6 seconds will send Peristeri to the foul line. And there is the next foul straight away from Jacob Pollen. His second personal, but Mornar's 5th team foul in just 4 minutes here in the third quarter. So Hatcher will go to the line. And Peristeri look to get a little bit closer as Mirza Begic comes in to try and turn the tide for Mornar. And those fans were delighted with what they saw through the first 15 or 16 minutes of this game. Their team getting up by 13 and it's really in danger of coming completely off the rails for them since. It's a single-digit game. They've chipped 10 away from that 13-point lead. Rayleigh Ross. Pollen. Pollen fires the 3 and releases the pressure valve. Jacob Pollen, Mornar's leading scorer through the season, comes up with a big shot. Moreira trying to grab the offensive rebound and has done. Shot clock winding down on the far side. Moreira looking to attack, switches onto the left and scores. Yet again inside Moreira, up to double figures now. 5 of 10 from the field. Just moments after Pullen had hit 10 off that three-point shot. Midway point of the third. They lose it. Another turnover. Scoochie Smith moves it on. Hatcher for three. Mornar just about as they turn it over again. An offensive foul from Shehovic. This is remarkable how many turnovers we're seeing here from Mornar. Now the offensive foul at least will not send Peristeri to the foul line, despite Mornar being at the limit. But they have returned possession to the Greeks. 18 turnovers in the game. We've still got 15 minutes to play. Xanthopoulos gets it back, Kit. Moses made his move into the centre and across to the far side. It comes near side to Smith, to the foul line, puts it on the floor. On the bounce, he attacks strong and gets fouled by Begic. So Scoochie Smith will go to the line as Mornar continue to pick up fouls. It's a couple on Begic. They've got 2 on Pullen, 2 on Shehovic, 2 on Lukovic, 2 on Needham. They have at least been able to spread them around. Nobody on 3 for Mornar. As for Peristeri, they do have 3 on Agravanis, 2 on Vasilopoulos, Smith and Xanthopoulos. It is a 2-point ball game. Rayleigh Ross. Pullen. 10 points in the game so far. He lines up another triple. Almost looking to take on the responsibility of doing it all by himself. Jacob Pullen now with his team in trouble. Xanthopoulos. Hatcher. Hatcher takes the step to the side, outside shot, misses it. And Begic able to protect the backboard. Almost lost it, twisting and turning. Shehovic for 3, no. Rebound Smith. A chance for Peristeri to tie or take the lead. Xanthopoulos directing traffic from the near side. Backing in, going to work, near side of the paint. Help defense comes across. They kick out to Smith. Smith with a little shake and bake dribble. Gets a bit of room, but not enough. Defense stuck with him all the way. And then Mornar, did they lose it over their own baseline there? Or did it get a touch out of bounds off the Peristeri centre? Well, the Greeks were claiming it should have been their ball. Kingsley Moses was adamant. Can Mornar keep Peristeri at bay? Ball kicked out of bounds. The home team have scored just 5 points in this third quarter so far. Damien Marcotta will come back in. Rayleigh Ross. Little pump fake, gets it away with a hand in his face, misses. Nothing coming easy for Mornar. They were so good offensively in the opening 15 minutes. The 2-point shooting percentage is plummeting. Peristeri have a chance to take the lead or tie again. Hatcher. Shot clock winding down. Here goes Will Hatcher. Three-point shot. That would have given the lead, but Moreira offensive rebound and a fresh 14 on the shot clock. The three, no. They still can't completely overhaul this deficit. Waller. Now Pullen for three. Got it right over the top of Hatcher. Jacob Pullen taking on the big scoring responsibility to keep Mornar ahead. Timeout call by Peristeri. Here deep into the third. Nice pass from Waller. And Pullen nailing a couple of big threes in this quarter when the rest of his teammates are really struggling to score.
You have to attack if you don't play inside. Inside or outside. No shoot. There is no advantage on the shot. One side. Why you don't remember one side?
You played it. They played it, ref. I was wide open. First he guarded me when I paused, and then he going straight down here. He just standing there. Yeah, he just standing there. So while I'm running, he wait for me. So Mo was open. That's why I thought he was wide open.
Listen. Touch. You have the ball.
Yes.
5 down screen for 4. 4 back screen. 5 spin. Back screen outside.
Yes.
Outside. 2 dribbles. Facilities here. Scoochie here. And now, back screen. 5 in, 4 out. Are ready to shoot. Very steady. And then
Three-point shooting continues to be the big difference maker here. Jacob Pullen is the personification of that. He's 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 4 on the inside, but 3 of 6 from downtown, including a couple of big threes over the last few minutes to keep Mornar ahead as they look to hold Peristeri at arm's length. Five-point differential, final 2 minutes of the third. Moses hands it off. Smith. And down the baseline, kicking to the far side. Little pump fake, getting inside. Lovely bit of footwork. The floater, will it go? No. Tough to take for Hatcher and for Peristeri. Pullen. That's an offensive foul. As Damir Marcotta peeled away to the perimeter and hit the three-point shot, but it won't count. It's turnover number 19. Begic committing the foul, setting the screen. Clearly. Xanthopoulos goes behind the back. Moved on by Moreira. Deep three-point shot will rattle out into the hands of Begic. Final minute of the third quarter here. It's been a tough one for Mornar, but they're coming through it just about. Pullen moving it on. Marcotta threatening the three, moves it on to Begic. 2 big men looking to combine. He squeezes through a gap and scores. Here's Begic, the veteran, with the big move. 6 points for him, 3 of 4 from the field. 6 rebounds, a couple of assists as well. Final seconds of the third, Mornar by 7, as was the differential at half-time, and they force a turnover and then a foul. Asking for an unsportsmanlike as Waller hit the deck. Certainly a play at the ball there from Will Hatcher. Just goes through the player to try and win it. Peristeri did have a foul to give. It's Hatcher's second personal. It's Peristeri's 4th of the quarter. So 25.2 remaining, just a 1.2 second differential. So Mornar, you assume, will take their time over this offense. Jacob Pollen doing just that. He leads the way with 13 points in the game. Pollen will run the clock all the way down. Shot clock at 4. Quickens the pace, waiting for the baseline cut and the foul before it was put in by Rayleigh Ross. So that will send Pollen to the line and give Peristeri about 3 seconds to respond. 4.4, in fact. Plenty of time to advance the ball to try and create something. And Pollen misses his free throw. They were 11 of 13 as a team before that, Mornar. Pollen does hit the second, so 8 is the lead. Can Peristeri get one final shot? They can from the far side. It's a good one as well to beat the buzzer from distance. Big shot from Kingsley Moses as Peristeri move into the fourth quarter with their heads held high. The 2 meters 8, 6'10" Nigerian centre with his third 3 of the game. And at the end of 3, Mornar 51, Peristeri 46. It's been all about Mornar's three-point shooting, except Peristeri have an answer to that despite shooting 24% as a team. Their big centre is 3 of 3. Kingsley Moses. The rest of the team just 1 of 14, would you believe? Thatcher started well, Peristeri started well, picking up right where they left off at the end of the second quarter as they closed the gap. Down to just 2 points. They had several opportunities from distance to try and take the lead, having trailed by 13 points in the second. But Mornar just about kept them at bay. The big 3-point shots from Jacob Pollen, 2 of them. As Peristeri did everything they possibly could to try and reel Mornar back in. There's Pollen from the corner with a hand in his face. 2 threes for him to take him up to 13 points in the game. In fact, 14. He's hit a foul shot since then as well. Begic with a nice move as Mornar found their feet finally in the third quarter. Rediscovered their confidence and opened up a bit of a gap again until that buzzer-beating triple from Kingsley Moses makes it a 5-point game heading into the fourth.
Mornar Bar and Peristeri winmasters to the best chase.
Here we go, start of the fourth quarter. Peristeri with the ball to try and make it a single possession game. Xanthopoulos. We got free to the outside again, but off an offensive foul. Kingsley Moses, who's perfect from the 3-point line. You can see the illegal screen set by Gaios Skordilis. Pollen. Marcotta. That comes via Waller to Pollen. There's a good look for 3. He chose to take the contact from Gray and step inside. This Rayleigh Ross. The defense up in the air early. And a quick 3. And we didn't even get a chance to see. Mornar back up by 8. Shooting 40% from the outside. Xanthopoulos behind the back. And into the paint, floated up off the window, wouldn't go, but the putback from Skordilis. Nine minutes to go, a 6-point Mornar lead. Do remember that they've not won a game yet in this season's competition, but they've been close in 3 of the previous 4. They will have that in the back of their minds if Peristeri keep the pressure on. Offensive rebound, back out, 3-point shot. Would it go down for Waller? Skordilis handing it off and then a foul. Trying to battle past the screen was Tabia Waller. Xanthopoulos. Long 2. Wouldn't go down for Skordilis. Really Ross taking his time to run the offense. Pullen edging his way into the foul line. Floating one, wouldn't go down. Final 8 minutes, 6 points the gap. And Peristeri close it here, just off the foul line, knocking down the 2-point shot. Stephen Gray, who started the game well and then disappeared on offense, back in business, up to 5 points. Begic spinning to try and get basket side and then fouled, and he hit the ground hard. I hope he's not rolled the ankle. The big man out to the perimeter, spinning away. The pressure was too high on him from Skordilis. Trying to get across, Kingsley Moses cut across his path as well. Peristeri pick up their 3rd foul of the 4th inside of 2.5 minutes. You see Kingsley Moses coming across to try and greet him here, and he just gets clipped from behind, doesn't he, by Skordilis. Look at the contact of the legs here. Just before it went out of our shot. This might give you a better idea. He's away for potentially the big dunk, and then there, just has his leg taken away from him. It's a football foul rather than a basketball one. The officials will debate it. It's in the area, penalty. That is the call. Checking as to whether it's an unsportsmanlike or not. And it looks as though they have given it. So Mirza Begic at the foul line. Every time Peristeri get within touching distance, Mornar find a way to open up the gap a little bit more. They are getting closer to that first win of the season. 7.5 minutes to play. Begic, a picture of concentration. Although he misses the second now because it was called unsportsmanlike. Mornar will have the ball back with a 5-point lead. Begic has 7 points in the game, 6 rebounds as well. Derek Needham. Only 5 so far from him. Shot clock down to the final few seconds. Needham has to put this one up under pressure, way off the mark. Needham averages 12.5 a game. Just 5 here, 4 assists though. He's only taken 4 shots after that one. 2 of 4 from the field. And the lane opens up to drive, kick to the corner, 3-point shot. Will it go? No. Instead, it's a turnover, a heel on the line, I think, on the far side. The Peristeri player, Will Hatcher, looks a little bemused by the call as he looks back down at his own sneakers. 19 turnovers for Mornar and 16 for Peristeri. These two teams haven't protected the ball well, with 7 minutes still to play. They've certainly shot it well at times. Begic coming out to set the high screen. Waller around it. Puts one up, leading towards the foul line. Misses. Can he grab his own rebound? No, and instead a foul. Only Mornar's second of the fourth quarter. They've committed 17 fouls in the game, Mornar. And Waller is the first player to pick up his third. They've done a really good job of spreading them about. There's another 6 players and 2 fouls. Long range 2 won't go down. There was a foul on the rebound. That will be 3 on Mornar as well. Begic goes to the bench. There's another turnover. I think it's 17 turnovers on Peristeri. Needham, the lane opens up to attack, and he scores with the contact as well. Derek Needham, who's been laying dormant through much of this game, erupts again. An explosive burst to the basket, his eyes lit up as he saw the lane open up. And he took everything in his path, including the points. And he completes the three-point play. 8 points in the game now for Needham, as well as those 4 assists and an 8-point lead for Mornar with 6 minutes to play. Peristeri on 14 fouls for the fourth as well. Hatcher taking on the 3, got fouled on the 3-point shot by Rayleigh Ross, who's not had a good game. So 3 foul shots for Will Hatcher to close the gap back down to 5. And this is the first, though. 8 of 12 from the line as a team now. It's only 67%. Hatcher trying to bring that up a bit. He only shot 2 of 12 from the field in last week's slender defeat to Nizhny, but he's been more efficient than that on offense over the first 3 games this season, and he certainly played a big part in this second half, although he really struggled in the first half. He's only 2 of 11 from the field tonight. Moses getting the final touch. He's been so efficient. 9 points, 3 of 3 from the outside, and 9 rebounds in the game. 3-point shot, Bielica, it goes. Mornar keeping Peristeri at arm's length. Midway point of the fourth, bounce pass inside. Looking to bully his way to the basket is Moses. Can he get the drop? No. Offensive rebound, though. Xanthopoulos directing traffic. In it goes to the far side. Bounce pass, Moses! A Peristeri pile driver from Kingsley Moses, who's been deadly from deep. And then he was a picture of power in the paint. 3 of 3 from the outside before that big dunk. Hitting Mornar inside and out. 11 points, 9 rebounds, a steal and a block on his stat line now. Turned over by Mornar again. They've surpassed 20 turnovers now for the game with 4.5 minutes to play. And this is far from done and dusted. And we've got a foul called, which may be Mornar's 5th. Just the 4th. 4 for both teams now. So any fouls from either defense for the remainder of the game will send the opposition offense to the line. Hatcher takes on the 3. Would be a big shot if it goes, and it does. Peristeri, who were down by 9 a few seconds ago, are back within 4. Hatcher up to double figures. He missed his first 6 shots from the perimeter before hitting that one. Bielitsa. Pullen looking to drive inside. Pullen going to work, trying to answer back with a 3, misses. And Peristeri can make it a 1-possession game inside the final 4 minutes. They were down by 9 just seconds ago. They will go to the line to try and make it a 2-point game. Needham with his 3rd personal and his team's 5th here in the 4th. And there was, of course, still time to spare, but it looked as though that 3 from Milko Bielitsa to put Mornar up by 9 might have been enough to finally kill the Peristeri comeback. Not a bit of it, say the Greek team, who in a few blinks of the eye have closed the gap down to just a couple of points. And we'll have a timeout now as we get set to enter crunch time.
Remember what I said. When they need some big basket, he is going to take the shot. We cannot allow him. Full screen, we show out. Very aggressive show out. Back screen, Branjo napravi, pazite na ovo prebacivanje da vam ne presječu loptu. Znači ti si ovdje. Pazi kad budeš vraćao.
Seed of doubt firmly planted by Peristeri. Mornar minds. They're within 2. Still 4 to play. It is now a double-double for Moses. 11 points, 10 rebounds. He has been brilliant. 3 threes. And then perhaps the dunk of the game. There's a foul on the defense. We've seen so many offensive fouls in situations like that. This time it is a foul on the defense, so Mornar will go to the foul line. And yet Branjes, their clutch foul shots now. And misses the first. Mornar 14 of 19 as a team. This is Vranjes's first trip to the line. And he misses both. Peristeri have trailed for the vast majority of this game. 31 minutes of it, to be precise. Moses was lining up a three, drives inside and brings down the hammer to get Peristeri level from 13 down. The sea parted for Moses, and he produced the emphatic finish. Bielitsa, 61-61, off one leg, wouldn't go. Now a chance for Peristeri to take the lead as we enter the final 3 minutes. They have trailed for 31 minutes of this ball game. Hatcher blazing past the defense, gives them the lead from 13 down. 16 for Hatcher now. Here's that elusive first win of the campaign, getting away from Mornar. Knocked away from behind. What's the decision? Peristeri ball. Mornar need to try and settle themselves. It's an agonising, frustrating finish to this ball game for the home coach, the home players and the home fans. There is still time to put it right, but that was their 21st turnover. They came in averaging just 10. Peristeri with the bit between their teeth. Hatcher for three, over the top of Needham with a hand in his face. Will Hatcher looking to kill this ball game once and for all. Timeout called on the Mornar bench. Peristeri have picked up the pace. Behind the back catcher, just to get a little bit of breathing room, and that's all he needed. Still, these fans wait to celebrate a Basketball Champions League win. What about the contribution for Peristeri of William Hatcher? 19 points now, leading all scorers. 5 of 14 from the field, only 2 of 8 from the outside. Now this is some story. He missed his first 6 three-point attempts. He's since hit 2 in a row down the stretch, including that huge one to open up Peristeri's largest lead of the night at 5. There is still time for Mornar. And as Pullen gets a bit of room, misses his shot. Offensive rebound, Bielitsa smothered. Points at a premium for Mornar. They have been throughout this second half. They only scored 11 in the third quarter. They've only got 10 here in the fourth. Great. Pirouette away on the perimeter, driving into the lane, floats it up. Will it drop? No. A minute and a half for Mornar to try and salvage something here. Crossover, burst to the basket. Kick out, three-point shot, needs to go down. It doesn't for Bielitsa. Hatcher. And Peristeri catching up in those three-point shooting numbers. Hatcher to float one, to finish it. Surely. Hatcher hits 21. Peristeri lead by 7. Final minute of the game. A quick score, which is just what Mornar need. 5 points the gap. Pullen up to 16 to lead his team. It looks like it will be too little too late. Commits the foul then as well, which will send Peristeri to the line. They're ready to celebrate their first win in 3. Plenty to contemplate. Tough to take on the Mornar bench. Smiles on the Peristeri bench. They've just got to dot the I's and cross the T's on this impressive second half performance. They get just the one. It's mission improbable rather than mission impossible, especially if this goes down, and it does on the drift to the baseline from Waller. He's got 8 points, final seconds. It's only a 4-point game and they commit the foul. They may have to rely on Peristeri missing free throws in these closing seconds now as Waller picks up his 4th foul. Peristeri are 13 of 18 from the line, so they have missed a few, 72%. What a shot from Waller. Xanthopoulos looking to stretch it back to 6, and he does. Pinpoint precision that time from Vasilis Xanthopoulos. Takes them a little bit closer to that win. And we'll have a timeout with 40 seconds to play.
Waller is first, Waller is second. Waller, go like this. You are going for him. Follow him. You curl. Jelica, vraćaš za Wallera za 3 poena. Okay? Huh? He got it for 3 points. Mornar!
There was so much Mornar optimism with the 13-point lead, and then Peristeri turned to this man, Will Hatcher, leading all scorers with 21 points. He's hit big shot after big shot and carried on that main scoring responsibility here in the 4th quarter for his team. Remember, Mornar were back up by 9 points only a few minutes ago in game time. Peristeri now leading by 6 with 40 seconds to play. Waller for 3, nowhere near. Can they save it? No. Difficult to save anything now in this situation. Pass by pass, second by second. Peristeri get closer, foul by foul. Needham commits his 4th. Heads hanging now in Mornar uniforms. A chance for Hatcher to add to his 21 points, 7 of which have come from the foul line. He's 7 of 9. 3 steals in the game as well, a couple of assists. What a response as well to shooting just 2 of 12 from the field last week and starting this game not shooting the ball well and then scoring big shots at big moments, getting better and better the longer the game has worn on. 3 for Mornar that won't go. It was wide open. A rebound on that stat line for Hatcher as well there. Head-to-head may matter, so Peristeri will want each and every point they could get. They could even win the game by double figures now if they can get one more score. Actually happy just to dribble it out, and that will do it. Peristeri back on the winning trail after back-to-back defeats. They came from 13 down to win this one by 8. And to keep Mornar waiting for their first win of the season. 65-73 the final score. Mornar fall to 0-5, and Peristeri rise to 3-2 and will keep their place in the top 4 of Group C as they look to reach the playoffs on their return to continental competition for the first time since 2004. Considering those back-to-back defeats for them only came by a combined total of 7 points, it really has been a good campaign for the team from Greece. They needed the win though, there was no good close defeats. Full of confidence after winning their first 2 games in the Basketball Champions League, their first ever home and away, then back-to-back defeats just to take them off their game, but they are back here in business and giving themselves a really good shot of advancing through this regular season and into the next stage of this competition. 65-73 the score, and they shot the better percentage on the interior by some distance, got to the foul line to make 3 more. Rebounding numbers slightly edged by them, although Mornar 1 more on the offensive glass, 3 more assists for Peristeri. But look at the steals, 12 steals to Mornar's 6, as they help to force as many as 21 turnovers on the home team. Hatcher leading all scorers in the game with 23. Pullen led Mornar with 16. He hit big shots in the 3rd quarter to keep Peristeri at bay, but Hatcher stepped up in the 4th to do enough to get the win. In support of Will Hatcher, we had double figures for Kingsley Moses in more categories than 1 as well, a double-double for him. And very efficient from the big Nigerian, 13 points, 11 rebounds, the double-double of 5 of 7 shooting. Pullen hitting one of those big shots in the 3rd quarter there for 16. Moreira was big on the interior for Peristeri as well. That was the other big shot from the outside in the 3rd from Pullen. Mornar able to open up a 9-point gap in the 4th quarter as well, but Peristeri never gave in and they came back with their best run of the game. And were able to come back for the win. They had 10 points from Yannick Moreira as well. 3 players in double figures for them. A group of players on 8 points for Mornar behind the 16 of Jacob Pullen. But how about the outside shooting of Kingsley Moses? 3 of 3 from the outside. And then had that massive dunk as well when Peristeri had the wind in their sails. And they will go back to Greece with a win as they move to 3-2. Mornar fall to 0-5. It's been a pleasure having your company here in Bar, Montenegro. We'll see you next time for more action in the Basketball Champions League.